Question from Xenia and Vlada. How do I know how to price my services when I can't properly judge my experience, skills, and the value for my work? So number one, you're gonna have to understand what value you have to offer, because how are you gonna sell this thing if you don't understand the value you have to offer? Outside of price, what I mean is, how are you gonna convince somebody else on the other end that what you have is of value? No matter what the price might be, you have to understand the kinds of things that you have to offer and what it's gonna do for people. For example, with my Power Up Podcasting course, I know exactly what a podcast can do for people. I know because I've experienced that before, but also because over time I've seen what it can do for others and what it's done. For example, Sophie Walker, somebody who came in, 0 email, 0 audience, and has built an amazing business completely out of her Australian Birth Stories podcast, now surpassing 3 million downloads of her show, literally starting from scratch. So if you don't yet have an understanding of truly what that value is because you're trying something new, well, here's the secret, and you've heard this before. Get one person, one result. They will make it very clear how valuable or not valuable this thing is. Plus, it's gonna push you to get those things done, to actually follow through on your services, and to hear back just how much a person would have paid should they get that for free or for a discounted price. How much do you think this is worth to you now that you've seen these results? That's a question that you might ask. And that way you have a real life testimonial and case study to see how you can help others join too. In addition, I would definitely look to see what other competitors perhaps that you might have in the space are charging as well. This will give you sort of a foundation and a good range of what people are paying. In the market map exercise in Smart from Scratch, the third P, there's people, places, and products. In the products one, try to collect the prices as well, because that'll give you a good range of what people are typically paying for in that industry, and that'll give you a good sense of where your offering will stack. I would recommend, however, to go more premium and higher, especially if it's more consultation services, coaching, that kind of thing. Versus what I did, I was like, okay, well, hey, there's all these study guides out there that are being sold for hundreds of dollars. I'm going to be the cheap one. And you don't want to do that because there's a perceived value in price. When you price something small, there's a perceived value that, well, I guess this isn't as valuable. And you have to find that balance, right? You have to find that balance. I remember I sold my study guide for $19.99. This is the architecture study guide. And a customer reached out to me who was a business owner who said, Pat, thank you for helping me pass the exam. Let me give you some advice in return. You are undercharging for this guide. And so it was one of my own customers that said, hey, you should charge more because it just seems like you have a cheap offering that's almost trying to just play on how cheap it is as your marketing strategy versus just how valuable it actually is. So it wasn't until I actually finally heard from a customer. Thankfully, this person reached out to me, but I definitely think that as you begin to get results, you can reach out to others to see what that value is. I ended up increasing the price. And in fact, when I increased the price, more customers came through. More customers showed up the higher the price was. Now, there's obviously a ceiling, because what if I charged $10,000 for that study guide? Well, nobody would have bought it, obviously. But there's a range there. And I was definitely trying to play the low, cheap route, and I was hurting myself as a result of that.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.